please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic?
Captain's Log, Subdates 231013.4. Over the weekend, my liver is going to take a bit of a pounding while my crew get to work extra hours and receive even less food. They've been told this is Bork's fault, and the best part is, they believed it. LOL, Bork is back! Welcome everyone to This Week at X. Today we're going to start with Boblax, who'd retweeted non-aesthetic things. They tweeted a meme of, "Ew, I stepped in poop," on the heel of their sole YouTube Premium. On my end, I've noticed now whenever I go to watch a video on YouTube, I have to turn adblock off now, which is irritating because the ads I'm getting on many content creators' pages are every 2 minutes, which is aggravating. If I'm sat there wanting to watch a 30-minute video, I can't because of the ads. Now, I will say, I don't slap additional ads into my videos. The only time I will do it is for videos that are quite long, like an hour long. Right? I will do one every 15 minutes because I feel that that is a justifiable reason to do it. I've put a lot of time into it, it makes sense. Every 3-4 minutes, no. YouTube Premium gets rid of those ads. It's a subscription service which does apparently monetarily benefit creators more than other platforms do with their subscription fees. The problem with a lot of these subscription fee services is the platform pays for you to have the privilege not just of watching those favoured creators, but obviously using their site as well, which some see as a bit selfish when you hear about the split. Boblax had retweeted this with, "Why does YouTube Premium have a bad reputation, but buying a subscription, membership or donating to a streamer is cool? Views from premium users generate 5 times more ad revenue. Premium is the best way to support everyone you watch without breaking the bank on multiple subscriptions," and I fully agree with that. I, of course, would rather you supported me directly. However, I'm acutely aware that like things like Spotify, although that's much worse when it comes to the split part, in the context of YouTube, the idea of paying one fee is better for you, the viewer. In this instance, I obviously do better. Spotify is not one of those places where anyone does better, unless you own the masters to your own music. And even then, you've still got to be getting millions just to do okay. It's not worth it. While we're in the ballpark of an American, let's talk about other bait, because let's face it, the YouTube Premium meme was a bit of bait. Keemstar, UK food is equal to American hospital food. Now he might have a point here. However, while we Brits take a lot of crap for our culinary expertise and our bland-ish meals, our food doesn't put you in hospital. The same cannot be said for American food, which is an amalgamation of multiple different cuisines done to the lowest common denominator and quality. When the rest of the world had heard the United States had the largest stockpile of cheese anywhere, we didn't realise it was inside a tin with a spray nozzle. So, while a baity tweet, "Is UK food equal to American hospital food?" No. Actually, we're better. In fact, we adhere to a vastly higher food standards requirement. We know this because while you guys in the States like to have your food standards agency place determine what quality of food can come into your country, we don't load ours up with steroids or water. We have a higher quality, and I would like to use the obvious chocolate as a great demonstration in how our quality over your quantity trumps your quantity. Food is an experience these days. If the experience is the race to the toilet, that's not an experience. That for you is your cardio. For us, it's a test in patience. Because we like a jolly good queue. You guys are very reactionary and would undoubtedly just shit on the person on the toilet's lap just so you could actually get it out of your system. We, though, would write a strongly worded complaint at the lack of facilities available to ensure that we could all evacuate our bowels at the earliest convenient moment, while simultaneously, with a stiff upper lip, standing and waiting, clenching our buttocks because we just ingested the American version of a Snickers. By the way, it's crap, just like the vast majority of American sweets, and the rest of your food too. If I have an American in my audience that got really annoyed by this, good. I want to annoy you, it's funny. Learn to take a joke and don't be like the Scousers in this country that can't. So next, let's go to Dexter2 and Chris the Narc. Dexter2 tweeted out a minute-long video from Pokimane. Why did you call me the most corrupt person on Twitch? Quote, Pokimane confronted Trainwreck on why he called her corrupt. I mean, the answer's pretty obvious. She doesn't have any standards, but she likes to think she does and act as if she's above many things. But we'll go to Kristen Ark's retweet. I just don't get why people still buy this act she's been putting on after all these years. Pretending and playing around like she wasn't on some holy crusade about gambling on stream, which she and others called out Trainwreck for since he was the main figurehead. She is so fake. Here is the clip.
I'm just so curious. Why did you call me the most corrupt person on Twitch? I just want to know. And then we could move on. I'm just so, because to me, that was, I thought that was like a little funny. So I would love to hear your side of it, and then we can move on, I can be against gambling and still get along with people who do that, if that makes sense.
So now let's do a little audience participation. We'll start. You offered $50,000, but if you accept it, the person you hate the most in the entire world gets 100 grand. Are you taking it? The answer is an obvious yes, because I don't hate anyone that much, but if I hate somebody mildly, I'm not really going to care if they have 100 grand. Although I do want to know which currency this dollar is in and whether or not it is tax-free. Wizard of Course had retweeted with, so long as I never need to see or speak to them again, which I've done pretty good with so far, then yeah, F yeah. What do I care if they have more than me? Especially if I get a lot for myself in their getting it. I fully agree with you, especially because you live on a bus and you can use it to mod the crap out of it and make it even better. I like your cat, by the way. As we've got 3 audience participations for this part of the video, let's move on with this image tweeted by Georgia Leah Gilholly. What British history opinion got you like this? Many had replied with, there were benefits to British colonialism. Based on the influence of it, you'll find a number of countries that implemented a British justice system years ago still benefit from that version of a justice system as opposed to the system they had in place before. So for example, Moondragon had also included increased literacy rates in Africa, railways, damage to the caste system, greatly enhanced international trade, and some former colonies benefiting from the British justice system already established in their country. Do let me know what British history opinion has got you like that. The next audience participation is, drop an unpopular food opinion that would have you like this. The same kind of idea, but the retweet from Red Lightning here is, the worst chocolate to ever exist if you enjoy eating this, there's something very wrong with you and it's a bounty. You, Red, are an uncultured swine. Bounties are fantastic. Dark bounties are even better. Triple packs of bounties are even better than that. Based on my earlier comments concerning British cuisine and American cuisine from Keemstar's tweet earlier, I could now just say ranch dressing is absolutely haram, but I'd rather just say mayonnaise needs to go the way of the dinosaurs. It's quite popular and I disagree, and also I know for a fact Oblax, who we addressed first, loves mayonnaise. He's wrong as well. You're always going to be wrong. Mayonnaise sucks. It's disgusting. It needs to end. But do let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree, and if you really hate what I've just said, smash the like or dislike. We need more engagements anyway, which is why I'm inserting these now, because I think a bit more engagement will help us as we seek to keep this series alive. Moving on, we're going to have to be very careful with the subject we now talk about, concerning Israel. Now, I'm going to be very careful. We're not going to talk about the very obvious line in the sand being drawn on Twitter or X. The reports, the videos, the very graphic videos, no, we're not going to cover any of that. Instead, BLM Chicago took a very brave stance, a very firm stance. I say brave, words have lost meaning, give me a moment, don't jump to conclusions or be American reactionary. That is all, that is it. Included is a paraglider and a message, I stand with Palestine, tweeted on the 10th of October 2023. On the 11th of October 2023, they had deleted that tweet and put out a statement. Yesterday, we sent out messages that we aren't proud of. We stand with Palestine and the people who would do what they must to live free. Our hearts are with the grieving mothers, those rescuing babies from rubble who are in danger of being wiped out completely. Considering the stance they are taking, which is a brave one to take, one can only surmise that the reason for taking such a stance is because donations must be drying up. Dave Rubin had retweeted them with F off you communist, and he basically loaded it with all the profanities that I can't say. brackets, though you almost got one thing right. The Israelis will do what they must to live free. Now, I will not be drawn in on this discussion yet. Later, I'm doing a politics stream on Moistski Live, and it's undoubtedly going to be a subject of discussion. Right now, I cannot give an opinion. I just want to show that there is a clear line in the sand on social media, as there often is. It's like the John Cena audience participation of "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." I know false equivalence, but you know what I mean, don't be so pedantic. With this line being drawn, many people are forgetting what started, how it's going, others are falsely comparing to other moments in history. It's quite messy, and of course those who are deciding what should or should not be done, and I won't involve myself in that. I just want to show that BLM Chicago had put out a statement originally standing with Palestine, and then they deleted it. Considering they're getting a considerable amount of flack on the follow-up tweet, I'm somewhat surprised they deleted the original tweet. The next video you're about to see was tweeted out by Alan Roberts with some crying laughter emojis. The individual at the top has been doing their rounds since they appeared on a podcast, because many have made the equivalent comparison of Jabba the Hutt with legs. There are other videos I've seen of this person trying to do climbing frame related activities, and it always ending quite badly. But this video is different.
I'm not your typical 10, so like what looks like everything to you? Like what is the vibe?
Not everything, but it plays a big part.
For sure. Well, with that being said, you can take your blindfold off.
Oh, fuck no. Jesus Christ. Fuck out of here.
Yep, that was different. Elon Musk. Yeah, if someone is keen to have fewer humans on Earth, they should start with themselves. Quite the edgy boy tweet, would you not agree? This was a reply to somebody else. So his first tweet was, "The real fight is not between right and left, but rather between humanists and extinctionists." The reply, "Oddly, the ones wanting to eliminate others don't want to be eliminated themselves." Feels like this relates to what's going on with other areas of the world. Don the Pleb, though, had correctly made a point here when he retweeted Elon Musk by saying, "I have been suspended for tweeting this." Elon Musk's tweet of "they should start with themselves" under previous ownership, and in fact under current ownership, does violate some of Twitter's terms of service. So surely Elon Musk should be asked to remove the tweet. At least then the rules apply to all. Next. The feminist turned housewife. I literally grew up believing that being a virgin was something to be embarrassed about. It was something that you didn't want to admit being. All the cool it girls were the ones that had sex and were experienced. You were shamed for being inexperienced and labelled a prude if you didn't hurry up and just lose your virginity. I never once was told it was something special, that I should hold on to it, that it was important and good. I was ashamed to be a virgin for as long as I was. This is what I mean when I say Christians who grew up in Christian circles have no idea the extent of depravity that plagues those in secular homes and circles. What Christians think and know is good, the world thinks the exact opposite. The frame we have on the same issues are exact opposites. It isn't just in regards to virginity, it applies to almost everything. Retweeted by Binks. Being a virgin is embarrassing when you are well into adulthood. Adult virgins for either male or female just shows you aren't really capable of attracting mates, and or you don't have the appropriate psychological functioning to have normal, stable adult relationships. And being that bothered by somebody else's sex life is way more embarrassing than being a virgin. The feminist turned housewife tweet had been getting a lot of attention, and there is some valid points to it, really. How society has evolved over the better part of the last 2 decades especially is a great indicator of how sex and virginity is often perceived. There is also a valid point from Binks about being a much older person and still not being in that particular area experienced, to some degree. But then Anne is equally correct by pointing out if you're bothered by somebody else's sex life, or lack thereof, you might have a problem. Because people do like to analyse each other. It gets quite sad really, doesn't it? And just for the sake of it, I have no real opinion on anyone else's sex life or lack thereof. I couldn't care less. That's why I don't really use the term incel much, but I will happily call someone a virgin because it amuses me to no end. And thankfully, the word virgin doesn't just have to mean sex anymore. Thankfully, I can refer that to many different things, like say for example, someone hasn't ever had a truly delectable single malt Scotch whisky from the Speyside region called Rose Isle 12. I had it last night. Oh, it was splendid. And yes, I'm going to end the video on this. You're all welcome. If you did like the video, don't forget to smash the like. I know I put it at the start. I'm going to put it at the end as well. We have had a dip in likes and retention, and of course, I want to increase that where I can. Thank you.